Today I'd like to talk a little bit about the Harbor Freight Shelter, the 10 by 10, which is actually 8 by 8 at the top, 10 by 10 at the base. The CoverPro. These things are less than 50 bucks, and they're usually on sale. I don't think they're meant to last very long, but you know, for a temporary shelter like at the beach, or you're having a picnic or whatever, I think they're great. What I'm using it for is sort of a semi-permanent fixture, just something to shelter my firewood. I don't expect this thing to last too long. I guess I could put a tarp over it, but anyhow, I don't want to show you how to put it together. There's YouTube videos about that. I think it's well worth the money. You can see the construction inside. I just want to give you some tips and tricks that I ran into when I installed mine. First of all, the ground where I set this thing is not level. It goes uphill, downhill. How do you fix that? Why should you fix it? Well, the why you should fix it is that this top on it is actually 4 triangles. And if you do not have it level, then that means one side is going to be steeper than the other. And more likely that rain would pool up on the less shallow side, the less angled side. And I'm going to show you 2 ways to fix that. Number one is, the nice thing about this being 8 feet at the top and 10 feet at the bottom is that the legs are angled. And you can change the pitch of this thing by moving the legs in or out. For instance, if you want to try and level it up a little more, you could just pull the front legs in, which would raise the front end up, and pull the back legs out, which would lower the back end. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing if it was going, you know, left side or right side. One side's higher than the other, and this isn't something you plan on taking down today. You know, you're going to leave it up for, you know, any amount of time. You don't want to have that situation where not only would it look weird, you know, being unlevel, but the rain is an issue. You don't want to have the rain piling up there, or snow or something like that. So again, just like we did on the side, on the front, you could move one leg out, bring the other leg in. You can move each of these 4 legs in any direction several inches. And that should be enough to kind of get you in range, unless you're on the side of a mountain. Now, to accommodate all these adjustments, I've added ropes for stability to my CoverPro. It comes with these little small nails. Let me see if I can dig one out down here and show you what it is. It's absolutely worthless unless you plan on taking it down every day. You have a little L-shaped nail that goes in the hole at the base of the leg. You can push that in with your finger. If you can push it in that easy, I guarantee you it can pull out that easy if there's a gust of wind. So there's 2 ways to secure this. You could either attach a rope directly to the frame and go down to a really good tent stake that I'm going to show you in a minute. Or you could just do like I did. It has these little attachments up here, and you can just run a rope down to your stake. Let me show you what one of these stakes looks like. I bought this from Amazon. All I did was went on Amazon and I looked up tent anchors. And this is a screw type. You can see it has this little screw device near the bottom of it. This thing's about 15 inches long. I'm guessing 3/8 of an inch thick. It's heavy duty. It's solid steel. And it's painted. And these things vary in price. I've seen them for six bucks and more a piece. I bought these on Amazon. I got 8 of them for less than $25. So they're about $3 a piece, $3 and some change. So if you're looking for something like this, and I highly recommend it, do some shopping. Get on there and don't just click on the first supplier you find. Look around. You'll probably be able to get it cheaper. I'm going to show you how to put this thing into the ground. It's real easy. To get your tent stake in the ground, all you do is push it in till the little screwed part hits the dirt, and then you just start turning. Now this thing's going to get hard real quick once you get down into the soil. And when it starts getting hard, all you need is a big screwdriver, or there's a big hole here. You could just take a stick or just about any stiff thing, and the longer the better, you know, as far as leverage goes. And you can just turn it like that. And once you get it going, you don't even have to put any more downward pressure on it. Once it takes a good bite of the soil, it'll dig. Don't worry about, you know, gravel and maybe even some small roots and stuff. I installed 4 of these on mine, and I guarantee you I hit all kinds of stuff as I was putting it into the ground, but it seemed to just drive right through it. Taking it out is just the reverse. When it's way down deep, you'll need some sort of lever device to unscrew it, but once you get near the top, just do it by hand. I highly recommend these screw type anchors, not only for the CoverPro, but use your imagination. Tents, just anything you need to anchor to the ground, definitely go with this. I mean, I've done a lot of camping, and I've cut my share of tent stops, but I've never found anything that worked better than these screw type anchors. Oops, sorry about the noise. Okay, how do we attach the CoverPro to the anchor? Well, at Harbor Freight you can buy this stuff. It's almost like paracord. I don't know what they call it, but it's cheap. You get 100 feet of this for just a few bucks. And I'm going to show you a knot here. This thing's real easy to tie and untie. I can untie it with one hand, and by loosening it up, you can either remove the top in case the hurricane's coming and put that in storage, or if you just need to adjust your legs, you can untie it that quick. Tying it is a simple matter of taking the running end of your line, putting it through the hole in the tent stake, and then up here, you know, maybe about halfway up the rope, just tie a loop knot. You know, just an overhand knot or a figure-8 knot, something that will leave you a loop up there. That gives you some mechanical advantage when you go to tighten this string up. Just take the running end, put it through that loop, and pull it down until it's tight. I'm going to try and do this with one hand. I don't know if I can. I can untie it with one hand. You can come on up with an overhand knot, or you can just tie a little slip knot there. It keeps it. I would have it good and tight if I wasn't holding the camera, but I think you get the message there. That this is a real easy setup, and it's really effective. All right, I'm going to get that thing secured, and I'll come back and show you another tip. Let's say that you've adjusted the legs best you can do, and you still have saggy parts in your CoverPro cover. And it's going to happen over time, especially if you get any heavy rain or snow or anything like that. This fabric's just going to stretch. And it's secured just with little Velcro things. So if you want more of a permanent solution, I suggest installing extra grommets on this thing. And I'm going to show you how to install a grommet in this clip. But you can see how tight that looks. Actually, I could have installed several more grommets. You don't just have to use this tip for the CoverPro. This would work on just about anything. If you've got a tarp over something and it seems to be sagging somewhere, you got it over your lawnmower or your generator, it seems to be collecting water in a place you don't want it, just add a few grommets to it. If the tarp didn't have enough grommets, it's so easy to add one. Now you can do this. I would recommend just go ahead and buy you a grommet kit. You can buy a 100-piece grommet set, which would do 50 grommets, because you have a top and a bottom to it, for just a few bucks. You get that at Harbor Freight. And if you go ahead and install your cover first and you don't feel like taking it down, all you need is a step ladder. You can set that step ladder up to where you can, take your fabric and rest it on top of the step ladder and do the procedure to install the grommet. You have to have some sort of semi-hard surface to put in a grommet, because you got to punch a hole in it, and then you got to apply pressure, a hammer type pressure to the grommet to get it to spread out and secure itself. All right, let's walk over here and I'll attempt to put a grommet in something I have over here and show you what it looks like.